Hey there, and today we have another build. I decided to build another 5-inch freestyle frame. Last time it was all about being on a budget, and in this video I decided to go for being best price for its value. I will talk about the frame I have used, I'll talk about the motors I have chosen, and I think one of the most important aspects here is the stack and the stack choices I did. In general, why I decided to build yet another 5-inch freestyle frame. I'm a big fan of 3.5 inches and have already a couple of videos regarding building 3.5-inch frame, and even one extra is coming up for 533 little flipper. I love that frames, but when I can keep them under 250 grams. So the main point for me to go for 3.5-inch frame is to keep it under 250 grams. If you have seen my last videos, that it was quite challenging with the Piratframes frame from Lil Matty. I really loved how it looked. I really loved how it flies. I love almost everything about this frame, but just only the thing is that for me, if you already go over 250 gram limit, then you might just go for 5-inch to have a better stability with wind, and overall like great performer. Of course, there are some reasons to keep, like for example 300 grams 3.5-inch, because it first of all flies great for its size. It's very portable and it's way cheaper. Like, it's cheaper to build 3.5-inch. Propellers are cheaper, motors are way cheaper, frames are twice cheaper, and all in all build is getting twice cheaper, considering that with DJI O3 Pro you can actually have a GoPro quality, very high quality videos, and for travel I would really suggest probably to have 3.5-inch in your pocket, in your drone arsenal, because it's very nice size to keep around if you go hiking or stuff like this. Okay, enough talk. Now I will switch my camera to the table. And we go through the components, thinking process. I will be sharing a couple of tips because I have tried a couple of ESCs already. In last 3, 4, 5 years I have tried motors, I have tried one DJI O3 unit, and unfortunately a lot of things in FPV comes with experience, so next time you just think twice before putting this part here or there. And let me share with you what I have done here. Okay, and here we have our top cover removed. So let's look what components I decided to use, and maybe I can give you some tips and you would love to repeat some of them. So let's start with a frame 5-inch from Piratframes. Piratframes punch frame, great design. I really love how it looks, so much details were thought through. So let's go first with the camera cage. It's quite wide, so it can allocate your DJI O3 Pro, DJI O3 as I have here. I tried with O3 Pro camera, no issues. You have plenty of room even with the gigantic O3 Pro camera. I even have here printed mount for O3 Pro. I might consider switching to O3 Pro later, but for now I had O3 and I decided to use it. Then if we go with the arms, 6mm chambered, it's a very nice touch. What I loved about these arms, they have also these small bumps which really allows you to mount your receiver, so it's very secure if you decide to go with the zip ties, for example. I'm not sure if it gives you extra strength, but maybe extra millimeter carbon here and there can help you. And yeah, that's about it. Then we have from bottom you can see you have access to 30 and 20mm screws. For example, if you have Apex frame, you probably know that the struggle. Top cover comes like this, and you can see that you get a kind of battery pad. It's not very sticky. You might consider buying something Uma grip and cut out and just put a whole stick. It will be way better. And also this Piratframes Velcros, they just work. They're good quality. Some of the other brands, they provide the ones which you should never be using, but these ones are quite good. And let's talk now about electronics. We already mentioned that we have O3. One thing to mention that I have shortened the antenna so it can nicely fit here. I have the cage so it is not directly to the carbon. One thing regarding O3 and O4s, they have a ceramic chips which are known to be broken during the impact. Never happened to me, but why not to be extra careful? Plus this allows you to bring your camera, your cable from the air unit underneath and keep it clean. I am always also using the small 3D print which covers my stack, so these battery straps do not rub towards electronics, especially when I put some waterproofing silicone level. This just scrubs it off. And that's it. Simply O3, great system, great penetration. What else can we say? Then let's check out the main part, and I think this part is the most interesting one. It's our flight controller and ESC combo. These are new Iflight Borg series, and I think they're great. It's a great value for the money. They are racing series, so they are either, as far as I remember, or 50 or 55, but this one is for 60 amps, 32-bit ESC. Look how beautiful it looks. It has integrated capacitor and spark absorber. I still added one capacitor because I want I don't want to have any interference, but it says that up to 6 inch you don't really need a capacitor. Very interesting. I might consider this also for 3 or 3.5 inches. It will be great because you always are tight on space with 3 inch, for example, and prefer going with AIO for personally, but with this it might actually worth it. Plus you get 32 amps ESC, which is great. Yeah, nothing fancy comes with ESC. You get different size of stack screws. One I used, one is here from Frame. They're a bit longer than the ones which comes with the frame. So the ones that is provided by Iflight. Also, I love this nice touch, as you can see here, the blue one, so you don't screws don't easily fall off. And interesting things they used, instead of using classic GST plugs here, you can see that they decided to use these connectors. Let's see how they work. They seem pretty durable, but let's see how it goes. I already have one here, so that's basically it about ESC. I still decided to use a capacitor, and yeah, it also comes with both XT30 and XT60. Then we have a flight controller. Also a lot of things to say about the flight controller. Then you have here 722, so F7 processor flight controller, as you can see, with plugs for anything you might need, including your digital system. And what I loved about it is that here in the one GST which goes to your flight controller, you have option to have both either 5 or 12 volts. What does it mean? That here, I don't know if you can see, if my lens can actually focus that close, but yeah, let's focus. So here, when you connect, you have option for 5 and 12 volts. What does it mean for us? If you go for O4 Lite, for example, you just swap the cable and you have access to constant 5 volts and fly it easily. Let's say if you decide to do a 3-inch or 2.5-inch build and decide to go with this tech, you have the option. For me, for example, I have digital system O3 or O4. You switch the cable to 12 volts and you have a constant safe 12 volts without any voltage spikes. Very nice feature to have in flight control. Not everyone has, and in such scenarios, if you run 6S, I would still suggest to run it via voltage regulator, via back. Funny enough, I was a little bit silly when building it, and while I had it plugged in, I accidentally touched one of the screws and my voltage regulator just for 12 volts just disappeared. And that is why you can see that I had to solder it to the VBAT. So whatever I just suggested you, I just did the opposite, which brings to you a little bit of risk that you can burn your digital system. You have plugs for everything as mentioned, so you have plugs for your LED or buzzer. You have also a plug for your receiver, external receiver, and you have plug here for your GPS. And I want to show you and just say how good and how big quality is that, because GPS, you get first of all different plugs, yeah, for everything. And look at this cable from GPS. Not everyone does it. This is steel, so you don't get interference and you get a better signal. So nice touch from Iflight to add cable which is shielded. I really want to test. I already ordered the GPS, so I think I will be rebuilding this drone. Let's see how it flies, but I feel like rebuilding this drone with O4 Pro and O4 Pro plus GPS and make it like more cinematic travel drone rather a band of freestyle. It ended up so beautiful that I feel bad using it only for crashing. Let's see. But yeah, once again, this is very nice. Also, you can see, I try to show on the camera here, you have not classic GST plugs. Interesting when it goes inside the GPS like this, it snaps in, and then to remove it you have to press and remove. So which really solves a problem which a lot of people have with GST plugs, because when you have especially tight builds, connector can snap off and you are without your radio. Or let's say you crash somewhere, you want to fly from there, recover, do turtle mode, I don't know, but your receiver plug just broke, disconnected or whatever. This really solves the problem. Yeah, and that's probably it about the ESC and flight controller. And yes, the most important one, price is crazy. It's 80 euros around-ish. For that price, I don't know who can offer you 32 bits ESC with spike absorber, with your capacitor installed, and such high quality F7 processor. Plus, considering that it's from Iflight, it's for racing series, I really think that this should work fine. Let's see, I didn't fly this drone yet. We will see how it flies, but I have really high hopes for it. And then for receiver, I think you can already say that it's diversity receiver, because I have two antennas. I just had it. I bought it when it was on sale for 20 euros. For 20 euros, I think having true diversity receiver from Radio Master worth it. And here, as you can see, I have on both arms, so when I fly forward I get a good connection behind and then in front, and then dead zones kind of cancel each other. So don't put your receivers, if you decide for example one here and one here, because you will have dead zone on this part. But this way you kind of have covered up for your dead zones, and potentially will give you way more range. And you will easily outfly, especially in this case, the DJI O3. Yes. And one last thing, if you decide to build a drone, I really recommend going for 5 to 20 by 20 stack. We'll be at 5 inch or maybe even higher, I don't know. I had my previous build, I have already on my YouTube channel regarding TBS Source 1. It's with PDP F4, a 30 by 30 stack. And it was honestly a tight build. Also ESC was a little bit out. Here it's very well protected. I don't know what should happen that I break somehow ESC or somehow touch the ESC. So it is just very well protected inside the frame. It's very easy to solder on and just simply work with that flight control, and it gives you so much space. Like it gives me space here behind. If I want, I can put here, I don't know, buzzer or whatever. It also allows me to have, I don't know, another like a receiver if I decide to have one antenna I want to put in the back. That's, I don't know, capacitor, buzzer, GPS, whatever you want, you can easily fit even inside the frame. Don't do with GPS though, but it's just great to have 20 by 20 stack. What I might consider if you want something lightweight, for example, I saw Quadmula has a mini 5 inch. It is 90 grams only, so 40 grams is kind of big of a deal. You can go with the smaller motors, put this tag and you are well covered. I don't know, in the end frame is great, but competition is also great for this frame. In that price range you have a very big big choice. I think that this frame worth its price, but if it's not available in your region, like that's all right, you have plenty of options for 5 inch. And that will be it about the components. So with DJI O3 you don't have it in stock, but I bought it used for 110 euros. 110 euros, around like 120 bucks. The used one works perfectly fine. Motors, I bought 4 motors 2007 from AliExpress, from Axisflying. It costed up to 100 euros, around 90 euros. Frame, new one costs around 90 euros, and Iflight Borg series, I have to check how much it costs now. I have a feeling that because it was like new, they were selling it so cheap, because I can't imagine this going so cheap. But let's say if I say 100 euro, it's still a great value. And still worth it. And True Diversity receiver, usually it's around 20 to 30 euros. Yeah. Most important part, to put everything correctly together. What tips I can recommend you to do first is with your O3 or O4 you have a ceramic chips inside. Make sure that you don't put it directly on your carbon. It's always good to have some TPU, or if you don't have a 3D printer, you can simply just put a double-sided tape and then zip tie or something, but have something between your chip, between your air unit and carbon. It will give you, your air unit will live longer, especially if you plan to crash a lot. That's the first. Then also I wanted to highlight that flight control and ESC comes with these inserts, so it really isolates you from isolates your flight controller from ESC, and then also ESC from the frame. Alternatively, I always recommend, either if you have a 3D printer, you print something like this. I still have one more, like to put it on top and cover everything. First of all, it looks neat. Secondly, it won't allow to rub on a flight controller, especially once I have everything tuned and everything working fine. I will put a conformal coating on this piece here. Then for motor wires I went with this tube. I really doubt that if probe bends and decides to cut, that it actually will succeed, because it's very stiff even, I would say. So feel pretty confident even at these places where it's kind of bobs up, because I have my antennas mounted. I really doubt that this will cut my wire here. I did the same with my XT60, and here it will be important to highlight one thing. Here it goes through, right? And when you have it mounted like that, during the crash, I have here my battery. During the crash, your battery will slide forward. So how I plan to use this frame is to have my GoPro mount on top, and I also have a dummy GoPro printed. So if I do just freestyle, I don't have Action 2. If you have Action 2, use it. But for example, I printed something like this. I put it inside. It adds me extra weight, but it also works as a lipo guard. So what will happen when during the crash I have a cable between? It will press on it, but it won't go further. If you do not have such a thing, let's say if you fly without 3D mount to save a weight, because you have O4 Pro, for example, don't put your cable here, because in accident, like when you crash, it will slide forward, and there is a higher risk to damage it, especially if you do not have it covered like this, for example. Yeah, and even with this cover, I wouldn't go for this, and maybe we'll try to put it somewhere, I don't know, from the side. Yeah, but because I am using this mount, and because I will be always flying either with GoPro or with a dummy GoPro as a lipo guard, it will be protected, and I really think it's okay to have it that way. But let's see, I will maybe write something in the comments or description of the video if something happens to it, but I really doubt it. Yeah, for batteries I went with 1400 Tattoo Airline top batteries, really good for gives you a lot of punch. And I think that's it. I hope you liked it and can make use of this build. I know the video is a little bit longer, but I went through all the components I have used, described like everything you might be interested in. Yeah, regarding the weight, it has the weight without a capacitor, the same weight as a SPDB stack without capacitor, a little bit heavier. But if you add capacitor for a SPDB mini stack, for example, it will be higher. But yeah, probably if you go for a sub 250 grams, you want to avoid using stack in any scenario. Just use a SPDB AIO, which costs 50 euros, basically price of one ESC. Works perfectly fine. And that will be it for today. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you liked it, and more videos are coming. I'll be comparing different drone sizes, different drone types, and have upcoming review of 533 Little Flipper with quite some modifications to the frame to make it suit my needs. That will be it. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye bye. Okay, and finally we are on the spot. Here how the final setup look like. We have his O3. Actually I got my O4 now, and it starts about to rain. I want to fly two batteries, one with this dummy GoPro and one without the GoPro. Let's see how it flies. So now you will just see the footage, and just let me know. Also, meanwhile, this quad probably will be for sale. So hit me in the comments if you are interested. I can ship within Europe, only because I have an idea and I really want to build a 7-incher now. I really love building the drones, so I can support you with that as well. Let me know in the comments. Feel free to contact me. There will be also my Instagram. And yeah, enjoy flying footage. I will put here OSD as well as recording from O3 stabilized, and the O4 and the GoPro when I fly with the GoPro. Yeah, let's see how it feels. In the end, I will also share my feelings of how it flies with or without the GoPro, and if stock tunes are good to go. So enjoy the footage. And let's sum up. I hope everything is recorded, so you saw how I crashed. One of it was, I would even say, quite a good one. And nothing happened to the drones. The only thing that happened was props got loose and damaged, but yeah, we all are ready that props are getting damaged whenever we try to learn or do some freestyle. Also, one thing happened which I didn't expect to. I talked about this wonderful plaques, GST plaques, which Iflight remade, and interestingly enough, when I crashed in the just like trying to dive and went directly to the ground, the plug just popped out. So they tried, but it didn't work. To be honest, if you do a bando basher, or like your goal is to crash a lot, it wasn't even the hardest crash, to be honest, but still the plug just popped out. So I would really take it into the account, and maybe you would prefer to fly, like to solder it down actually, instead of plugging. Let me know what do you think about the plugs. Do you use the plugs? I still have not decided if it is a good idea to use plugs on such drones, because it was a little bit annoying to put into it, and I forgot all my tool screwdrivers, even like prop tightener or whatever it's called. It's pretty windy also today, so footage might be shaky, as well as my recording. I really hope microphone handles it well enough and you can understand what I'm saying. But to sum up, frame is wonderful. Of course, nothing happened to the frame. Regarding the flight controller and the plugs, I would think twice, depending on your scenario. Keep in mind, with a good crash, you might not be able to recover your drone. If your RX just done, no turtle mode, nothing will happen. Maybe if you are a band bashers, then that might be important to you. If you're stuck somewhere in the roof, I would prefer to have opportunity to slide. But other than that, wonderful drone. Reception is very good. Like even with this stubby holder, still you can easily fly around. Of course, you lose range, especially when you turn. But other than that, wonderful quad, really recommend it. I would need to renew my 3D prints already. I can see motors with no issue, just props, 3D prints, a little bit clean, and that's it. As mentioned, I will be selling this drone. Let me know if you are in Europe and interested. Of course, I will clean it up and make sure everything works fine. I crashed like just a couple of times, and it is designed to be crashed a lot. Yeah, I will be probably building either another 5-inch. I don't know what I will actually change. I will go with the same stack for sure, maybe even with the same motors, maybe try another frame. I really love trying different frames just for fun and like building different quads out of it. And yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think about the Piratframes in general? Like, do you already use any of their frames? How do you like them? I feel like they are very cool, very stiff, very high quality, but let me know if you have a different opinion or different experience. And any advices, knowledge share, always welcome. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a good one.